What's up everyone, this is ShoryuGame welcoming you to another KOF 15 trailer analysis. Team Southtown's trailer was just released, and unlike when they were announced the first time with the Garu team, we got to see gameplay sequences of the three characters composing the team, Billy, Yamazaki, and Geese. But that's not everything. We also know that they are 100% canon to the game, as seen with the interaction between Geese and Rock, in addition of the alternative costumes that the three fighters have, which will be included in the DLC. Team Southtown was present in KOF 14, with one difference. Hein was the third member instead of Yamazaki. I talked about the possible cause of this change story-wise in these videos, so I invite you to check them out if you want to know more. Yamazaki joining Geese and Billy is not a surprise at all. He worked for the crime boss more than once in the past, more specifically in 97 and 2003, although now it marks the first time where the two fight side by side. At the end of the day, Yamazaki is a freelance criminal who would do anything for anyone as long as he gets paid. But before getting into more details, let's analyze one thing at a time, starting with Billy. Geese's right-hand man has a new design. He sports a new suit that looks pretty cool on him. It's worth mentioning that this is not the first time where Billy is wearing a suit during gameplay. His alternative costume in Maximum Impact 2 was a suit as well. I like that his punching bag in the trailer is Joe. Of course he is. Who else would Billy want to beat to a pulp more than anybody else than the Muay Thai champion? Okay, maybe Aurea. Again, if you want to know more details, check the dedicated videos I made about the two. The first move shown is Senpukon, or mashing the A or C buttons. Next is an EX Yushu Hishukon, or DP plus kick. He can clearly combo from that, even if it's not shown in the trailer. His counter move is back. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it was present in 14. His long-ranged move, the circle forward plus punch, is of course part of his move list. It has a name but it's too long, so I'm not pronouncing it. This move used to have a follow-up where Billy burns his opponent, but now it seems that the follow-up brings the opponent closer to Billy instead. The burning attack is reserved for the other move, Suzumi Otoshi, that acts as an anti-air. And I don't think it could end with a fire attack in the past, unlike this time. It's an interesting change in Billy's moves. Billy is wearing his alternative costume during this sequence, which was his default outfit in 14. We get to see one of his combos, starting with a close C, forward B, EX Suzumi Otoshi, and a half circle forward C. It looks similar to his max mode combo in 14. Finally, it's time to demonstrate his desperation moves. The level 1 and 2 supers look identical to their past iterations. However, the level 3 super is completely original. Billy smacks Joe and sends him flying, then jumps on him and uses him as a surfboard, wipes the floor with him, and violently hits him last time with his staff. This new climax super is a lot more stylish than the one from 14 for sure. Next is our good old Yamazaki. Personally, he is the character I was looking forward to be in KOF 15. I'm super glad that he is finally here. He wears his badass white coat that could only be seen in artworks in the past. Now he's keeping it on during gameplay, as I hoped for in the previous trailer. In addition of being an infamous criminal, Yamazaki is also a rogue Hakishu who doesn't want to have anything to do with Orochi and his clan. Him beating up Yashiro in this trailer makes a lot of sense, and I hope that he has special intros with him and the rest of the Orochi team. The first shown moves is his snake arm or serpent slash in his EX version, followed with another EX move, the command grab bombshell badabing. Yamazaki can still reflect projectiles with his arm as seen here. But wait, since when Yashiro has a projectile? Did he gain one in the last update and I wasn't aware of it? Seriously, what's that? Back to Yamazaki's move analysis. He executes the EX form of his counter, which causes Yashiro to ground bounce. His axe kick or DP plus B is still here. I wonder if it's still an overhead. Then Yamazaki does an off-the-ground EX move. This is certainly a new move, and it reminds me a lot of Iore's, which is also an EX move. It looks pretty dope, and I love how Yamazaki laughs at its end. He's having a good time for sure. He changes his outfit and reverts to his old design in the next sequence, Yamazaki's alternative costume is a little bit more than just removing his coat. His shoes are black now, and he wears his fingerless gloves, which he didn't have in 14. This outfit is the exact same from his original appearance in Fatal Fury. He fights against Gato, who was his teammate in 2003. Does he have a special intro against him too? I sure hope so. Yamazaki starts with a close C, Shutter Strike, close C again, and a Serpent Slash with the C button. Next combo begins with a down B, down A, EX double return or the reflector mentioned earlier, forward B, spray sand or the P plus D, Serpent Slash with A, and another Serpent Slash with B. His supers look pretty much the same as before, including his climax super drill. The only difference resides in the last hit, where Yamazaki crushes his victim on the ground instead of sending them in the air. By the way, this super has many variations depending on how much you mash your buttons when Yamazaki is charging his power. That changes the damage and the look of the last attack, so he might have new attacks in this super. Lastly is the turn of the boss himself, Geese Howard. He is dressed in an elegant black suit with a red tie, and that's not the first time where he's dressed this way. The new version of soy sauce for Geese sounds so good, by the way. Can't wait to hear the full version. The first thing demonstrated in his gameplay is a Reppuken battle against his son Rock, which Geese ends up winning because he can't perform a double Reppuken without spending meter for an EX version, a neat subtle detail that shows that the original always wins. A small clip shows the interaction between father and son. This is the kind of thing that we were desperately missing from the previous game. Rock is still holding a grudge against his father as expected. Surprisingly, Geese doesn't seem to be upset about Rock, and he should be for siding with his greatest enemy. This is the first canon game where both characters are present and alive, so I'm looking forward to see their full interaction. And no, the maximum impact games don't count. The gameplay reveal resumes with an EX Shippuken or Air Fireball. Next, it's an EX Fudoken with a forward punch, followed with another EX Fudoken with a forward kick this time. After that, Geese executes an EX Fudoken for the third time with a down kick. I think the trailer tries to show that the move can hit and knock down opponents, even if it's not very clear here. The next shown technique is the return of the jump slashy attack that I forgot its name. Geese didn't have it in 14, but it was present in other games. It's very effective against zoners since it allows him to jump over projectiles and causes a knockdown, and that's the occasion to execute his OTG Raimei Guhanage. The EX version shown here doesn't cause a side switch like the regular version. That was the case in 14 anyway. After that, Geese goes teaching Terry a lesson while wearing his original outfit, the very same from KOF 14. He throws a Reppuken that Terry jumps over but gets countered with one of his famous parries. It's those parries that had made Geese such an infamous SNK boss in the past. If his AI starts reading all your moves, he becomes utterly untouchable. Personally, I'd love to fight that AI in the challenge mode. The next counter, the neutral one, is shown next, where he opens his opponent's guard by pushing them to the other side. He attacks with a down C, forward A. The next combo looks like it's supposed to be a continuation of the previous one. Geese goes for an EX Fudoken, but without any follow-up. Instead, he executes his jumping slashy move and ends the combo with a regular Fudoken with a forward punch. I'm not sure if this combo is only possible in the corner, but it looks that way. I guess I have to try it myself later. Unlike with the other two characters, we don't get to see Geese's level 1 and 2 supers. We jump directly to his climax super, Raging Storm. It may look the same at first, but it is in fact different from 14's. This version of Raging Storm, which also existed in past games, covers the area behind Geese as well. The twist in this trailer is the fact that Geese has two climax supers. The second one is Rashomon, a returning desperation move from older games, and it is a grab super, meaning Geese has to be close to his opponent for this super to work. It looks so sick though. And that concludes the Southtown team reveal trailer analysis. I love this team. It has two of my favorite characters in the series. Yamazaki is my favorite character ever, and Geese was one of my mains in 14. Even Billy looks pretty cool, and his reveal makes me want to try him. They also come with alternative costumes for each. That's always a welcome addition. I do have some minor complaints though. I still wish if they had their own stage. You know me, I'm a stickler for that kind of things in fighting games, but from the look of it, teams will start to share stages among themselves, which bothers me a little. The other thing is, where is Yamazaki's knife? It's still missing. Frankly, I was expecting it to be absent again, with the toned-down violence policy that the series is following recently. I still had a little bit of hope that he might have it back in 15. Yamazaki not having his knife takes away from his charisma and craziness. But what are you going to do? I'm still going to main him anyway. What did you think of the Southtown team? Are you going to purchase this DLC? I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments. That's it for now. I hope that was somewhat informative. As always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks for watching.